Hey guys, today we're going to have a quick look at this adorable baby seal colour pencil tutorial now available over on Patreon. But if you're new here, hi, I'm Lisa, I'm a colour pencil artist, a mum, and I create in-depth colour pencil tutorials that I share with my Patreon community. In the description below you'll find links to my Patreon as well as my website where I have over 70 tutorials available. You can either purchase them individually or access them through a membership, so there's something to suit everyone. Now let's have a closer look at how this little seal was completed. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the eyes. So for these eyes, there aren't any sort of pupil, they're very reflective and no real sort of pupil and then iris and that sort of thing. So when you're doing eyes like this, you just need to make sure that you're paying attention to your reference photo and just putting in the shapes that you can see. And I'm using a lot of colours in this one, such as the light ultramarine, going in with some of the violet and the burnt ochre. So using all of these colours together will help give that a little bit of grey tone, but also keep it nice and bright and add some of that colour in there. Adding some of the black and the dark sepia over the top, and then blending over with the warm grey one just to add that light section in there. If you think of each section in the way of shapes, it makes it a lot easier to break it all down. And then I'm going through just adding a couple of those darker bits around the eye, and then we can go through and add in the second eye. So this one you can see there is a lot of light reflection on the right hand side. So when you're going in and darkening this up, you just want to go in with really light layers and very gradually build them up. This will help you get a really nice smooth transition from the dark to the light. And then again, I'm also adding some of the light ultramarine, violet and burnt ochre little bits into the skin around the eye, also darkening with the cold grey 5, dark sepia, and then getting darker with the black. Going into the nose, we're doing exactly the same thing, so using the black to map out where we can see the darker areas, darkening with the cold grey 3, warm grey 3, leaving that little highlight section in the middle of the nose and getting darker with the black. And then we can start to go in and add some of the fur above the face and on top of the head. So what I'm doing as well is just making sure that we're adding in the darker sections that we can see first, and then going in with the cold greys around that. I'm also adding in cold and warm greys into this section as well. So if you have a really close look at the reference photo, you can see there are some sort of blues and purples, which are your cold colours, but there are some browns and oranges in there as well, which is your warm colours. So using the cold and the warm greys really gives it that nice texture. So when it was time to put in the cheeks, I went through with my black pencil and just mapped out where you can see all of those little black dots where the whiskers are coming from. This is just so when we put in our colour we don't lose where all of these little dots are, because once you lose the outline it is quite tricky to sort of figure out where everything is. It can definitely be done pretty easily, but it's just easier to make sure it's all mapped out and you know where everything is straight away. But we're definitely going to go through and make these darker at the end, so just putting them in as a reference at this point. So towards the bottom of the cheeks here it is quite orange, so I'm using a bit of the burnt ochre, but when we're putting this down we're just holding it really lightly on the side and just gently glazing it over the page. Same with the violet, that purple colour, and the light ultramarine, the blue colour. We're just going down and glazing them down really lightly. We don't want it to look really orange, purple or blue. We just want to have a little bit of that tone going through this area. And you might be asking as well why we're not putting in the whiskers straight away. That's because if we put the whiskers in and then we go through and put the colour, it's going to smudge all of the whiskers and make them look all blurry. So we're going to add them at the very end. But remember, if this video is going a bit too fast for you, this is a full real-time tutorial over on Patreon. The link is in the description below. And then we're just going to go through and put in the chin or the neck as well. So all of his double chins, which is just so gorgeous. As soon as I put this bit in, I was just loving how cute he was looking, starting to sort of come alive and get a little bit of character. But remember, when we're going in, we're putting really light layers so we can build up all the tones really lightly. Especially when you're working with grey or white fur, you want to make sure you're building everything up really lightly so you can get all of the lights and darks in there, making it look realistic. So when we're working on the body, the first thing I do is just go through with the cold grey 3 and map out where you can see all of those little darker dots, just so we don't lose these and we sort of remember where each of these little imperfections in the fur are. When you're going through and completing white fur, Although you're starting to use all of your warm and cold greys to get that cool and warm tone, I also do go in with some of the burnt ochre, some of the blue tones that we've been using through the whole thing, and also some of the purple. Adding the purple over the orange are contrasting colours, so this works really well together and also makes a light grey tone, which is great for this sort of thing. So you can gradually build up those tones by mixing the colours together, as well as mixing in the warmer and colder greys. When you're mixing colour through the greys, it makes it seem a little bit more vibrant and not as flat. So if you're just adding greys and blacks, it can seem a little bit flat, but adding all the colours really gives it a bit of a backing. And as you're making your way through different sections of the seal and of the piece, you just want to make sure you're using all of the same colours. So making sure you're adding, even if you don't really see the really bright oranges or anything like that, you can glaze in just a little bit of it just to make it a cohesive piece. So if you go through and start to add in a whole heap of blues and purples in one section, and then another section you're adding a whole heap of oranges and reds, it's just not going to be cohesive and look like sort of one whole image together. So you need to make sure you're adding all of the same colours in to each section that you're working on. Then when you're coming to the tail, this is really blurry, so you just want to make sure that you're going in with really soft layers, really light layers, and trying not to do any sort of sharp pencil strokes or any straight lines or anything like that. You just want to make it nice and blurry, nice and soft looking. But the best thing I can say to do with texture like this is just to build up the tones really, really lightly. So starting with your lighter colours, adding in some of the colours like the blues and oranges, purples that we're using, and then just lightly build up to those darker tones and eventually getting to the black. But even when you're using the black, you're just sort of glazing it down really lightly, going back over with your cold grey 3 or warm grey 3 and blending it down, making it nice and smooth. Going in with really light pressure allows you to put down a lot of layers. Having a lot of layers allows you to have a whole different range of colours going through the piece. Different colour greys, making it look more realistic and getting darker where you need to, keeping other areas lighter where it needs to be lighter. The more layers that you can put down, the more different type of greys and colours you can put through, which makes it look more realistic. And then what we're doing here is just going through, putting our reference photo and a photo of the current piece in black and white, and just evaluating them closer together. So you can see on the left hand side is the reference photo, the right hand side is my piece, and I'm just having a look at where I need to get lighter and darker. It's not about the blues, purples and oranges that we're using, it's about the light and darker tones, making sure we're getting these correct because that's what's going to make it look realistic in the end. But remember, if any of this is a little bit confusing or you want to do it in real time, this is a real-time tutorial on my Patreon. And here is a look at the previous seal that we just completed, underwater seal, which might be a little bit more difficult than this one, but still really fun to do. So you can check that out on my website or on Patreon. Okay, so now it comes to the hardest bit, which is putting in all of these little whiskers. So I'm just going through with my sanding block, making my black pencil really nice and sharp, and then we're putting in these little hairs one at a time. You might want to have a little practice on another bit of paper before you get started with this. You really need to not make a mistake here. You need to do it correctly to sort of start with, because trying to get it back up or erasing it is going to be really difficult. When you're putting in these lines, just make sure you're paying attention to where they start and where they end before you put anything down. So pay attention to where the line ends, put your pencil down and sweep it towards that in one sort of singular motion. Making sure to go through with a really light pressure, and if you need to get a little bit darker for each of the individual hairs, going over really, really lightly and just darkening it up. You don't want to go through with a really hard pressure and put it down, because you're more likely to make it a little bit wonky or get it in the wrong spot. So really light pressure to build it up really gradually. Same with everything else that we've been doing through this whole piece. Remember as well to keep resharpening your pencil where you need to. So you may need to do one sort of little row and then resharpen it. Resharpen it as much as you need to, because you really need a really sharp point for these little thin lines. And once all these lines are down, I really recommend not going through and putting any more colour sort of in between them or over the top, because you're going to smudge these lines and make them look really blurry. And this is going to be the main point of attraction when you look at the piece. So when you're looking at this, the first thing you sort of see are those big whiskers, the big eyes, and you don't want these to be smudged or anything like that. So make sure to do them really crisp. Take your time, you can do it. So this is the final result of this little seal piece. I really hope that you like this one. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see in the future and what you like about this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys.